The movie starts with Jang Pang-soo, a feared gangster and head of the powerful Hanho business empire. He lives a lavish life with his wife, Soyo Yen, the daughter of a rich businessman Mr. Han. But Jang didn't marry her for love. He just wanted control over her father's fortune. One day, Jang checks on some construction at his company building and then steps out to eat ramen at a nearby shop. There, he notices a chubby high school student named Kim Dong enjoying his noodles. Jang doesn't like the food and quickly pays his bill. But just as he's leaving, Dong tells the owner he forgot his wallet. The owner shrugs and says, "No worries, that generous man over there will pay." Jang is furious but ends up paying for Dong, who to his shock had eaten 4 bowls of noodles. As Jang heads home, a dump truck blocks his way. Meanwhile, on a nearby rooftop, Dong is trying to get his shoe when he slips, and falls right on top of Jang. Total chaos. Cut to the hospital. Jang wakes up in a hospital bed. A nurse walks in and oddly calls him kid. Confused, Jang wanders out of the room and runs into more people calling him Dong. Things get weirder when he sees someone who looks exactly like his real self lying unconscious in another room. Then Dong's dad shows up and calls Jang his son. Panicked, Jang runs to a mirror and freezes. Somehow he's now in Kim Dong's body. He tries to explain what happened, but no one believes him. To make things worse, the doctor claims he has amnesia. With little chance of returning to his real body, Jang accepts his new life as Dong and follows Dong's father home. There, he's greeted with a table full of delicious food. Jang asks if anyone else is eating, but when no one joins, he devours everything himself. The next day, Jang goes to Dong's high school. Students start acting strangely around him. At lunch, he sees Dong's friend Han being bullied. Jang steps in and tells them to stop, but this only angers the bully leader, Tai Wook, who challenges him to a fight after school. Jang, being a former gangster, isn't scared. He shows up after school, slaps every member of the gang, and takes Tai Wook's phone as punishment. That night, he checks the phone and finds a video of Dong being bullied and forced to walk along the edge of a building, which caused his fall. Furious, Jang returns to school, threatens the bullies with the video, and warns them never to harm anyone again. Meanwhile, Jang's wife Yen is having an affair. She thinks Jang won't find out since he's in a coma. But Jang's rival, Boss Yang, catches her and blackmails her into helping him destroy Jang's life. With no choice, she agrees. At the same time, Jang visits his assistant, Chul, who's been taking care of his real body. Jang tries to convince him that he's actually Jang in Dong's body. Chul laughs it off, thinking it's a joke, until Jang reveals personal secrets only the real Jang would know. Shocked, Chul finally believes him. While catching up on recent events, Jang finds out that his wife is secretly planning to kill him.
근데 넌 누가 시키지도 않는데 병실은 왜 매일 지키고 있어?
양 사장이 와꾸를 크게 그리고 있다고.
The next day after school, he bumps into a young girl named Han who drops her pink stuffed toy. Jang picks it up, runs after her, and gives it back. Just then, Han's mother, Mi-sun, shows up, and Jang is stunned. She's the woman he left years ago to marry someone else. He quickly runs away, shaken, and starts wondering if Han might actually be his daughter. To find out the truth, Jang secretly pulls a strand of Han's hair during their next meeting and gets a DNA test. The result? She really is his daughter. Heartbroken, Jang feels like a failure as both a husband and a father. Desperate to fix things, he asks his assistant Chul for advice. Chul tells him to lose some weight and look better, and also suggests inviting Han to work out with him. Han visits the gym but doesn't like it at first. Chul, pretending to be a fitness trainer, convinces her to come back. He starts teaching her self-defense while Jang focuses on getting fit. After a few months, Han becomes a karate pro, and Jang transforms into a completely new man, fit, confident, and good-looking. Everyone at school, including the bullies, is shocked by their glow-up. One day, a girl from the bully group tries to mess with Han during lunch, but Han uses her new karate skills and knocks her down in front of everyone.
아이씨, 뭐래 이 병신. 이게 미쳤나?
When Mi-sun hears about this, she's impressed and thankful. She invites Jang to her shop and serves him a bowl of ramen. But things take a turn when a creepy customer slaps Mi-sun. Jang loses his temper and beats the man up. Mi-sun stops him, but now she starts to suspect. Jang's voice and actions remind her a lot of her old boyfriend. Later, Jang sits Mi-sun down and tells her the truth. He's actually Jang but inside Dong's body. At first, she doesn't believe him. But when he reminds her of their memories together, she starts to realize he's telling the truth. Still, Mi-sun is hurt. She's angry that he wasn't there when she needed him most. So she tells him to leave and never come back. The next day at school, while Han and Jang are sitting together, a student council member named Miho walks up to Han and invites her to his birthday party. She quickly says yes, not knowing Miho has bad intentions. Later, Jang meets Mi-sun at a restaurant and tries to apologize. Mi-sun isn't having it and gets up to leave. But Jang grabs her and kisses her in front of everyone, shocking the whole place. Furious, Mi-sun drags him outside, planning to take him to the police. But before they get there, Jang gets a call. Dong's friend says Hyan is in serious trouble. Jang rushes off. Mi-sun then calls Chul and asks him to send a car. At Miho's party, Jang sees Hyan surrounded by boys, and Miho is pouring wine on her. Jang steps in and fights the boys to protect her. All the girls at the party swoon over him, not knowing he's actually a gangster. Hyan joins in and kicks Miho into the pool before walking out. The next day, CH tells his boss that Yen is secretly working with Mr. Yang to push Zhang out of the company's list of heirs. Zhang, now aware of the betrayal, writes a letter to Mr. Han explaining everything and sends Chu to deliver it. Meanwhile, Dong finally wakes up from his coma, but he's still in Zhang's gangster body. He returns home and tries to hug his dad, Zhang Qi, who's completely confused and almost calls the police. Just then, the real Zhang shows up and explains everything. Dong, now understanding the situation, agrees to help Zhang win back Mi-sun and comes up with a plan. The next day, Dong and Zhang visit Mi-sun's shop, pretending everything is normal. But before they can talk much, Mr. Young and his gang show up. Zhang quickly hides Dong and Mi-sun, then fights the gang alone. Seeing he's outnumbered, Mi-sun jumps in and scares the thugs away by threatening to blow up the gas cylinder. The gang flees and Zhang finally makes peace with his ex-girlfriend. Meanwhile, Mr. Han confronts Yen about her affair and betrayal. Angry, he cuts ties with her and removes her from his will. He then calls Zhang for a meeting. Since Zhang is still stuck in a kid's body, he puts a microchip in Dong's ear and sends him instead. But the chip glitches. When Mr. Han asks about his second family, Dong makes up a heartfelt story about valuing family over money. He even gives up his claim to the family business. Surprisingly, Mr. Han accepts his decision and lets him go. Outside, Dong and Zhang hug, until Yen shows up and suddenly hits Zhang with her car, leaving him badly hurt. At the hospital, just as Zhang is chatting with friends, Dong suddenly collapses. Both are rushed into surgery. 6 months later, Dong is back in his own body, respected at school, and finally dating Hyan. Once seen as a loser, he's now admired by everyone. Zhang has changed too, no more fighting or threats. Instead, he's helping Mi-sun run her new restaurant. The movie ends with both of them living better, happier lives.